Uh, I'd like to welcome all of you to the Islamic Education Center for our second annual Interfaith Iftar. My name is Dr. Imran Khan, and I will be co-emceeing tonight. Just a few housekeeping notes. Our volunteers are designated wearing a red hijab, as well as the gentlemen are designated wearing a red shirt. So if you need any assistance tonight, please reach out and grab one of our volunteers. If you meet a Muslim of the opposite sex, please do not be offended if they do not shake your hand. Muslims generally do not shake hands with the opposite sex. Following our speeches tonight, I would like to request our guests to the tent to join us for dinner, and members of the Islamic Education Center community can stay here. We'll have the dinner set up for them here. With that, we will start our program with a recitation of a passage from our scripture, the Holy Quran, by one of our youth leaders, Qayyum Naqvi. Following the recitation, Qayyum will share with us why Interfaith is important to him, as well as his personal experiences with Interfaith. And Qayyum will be co-emceeing with me tonight.
Thank you, Imran. So I'm going to be reading from the Quran. I'm going to read the English translation of the Quran, chapter 3, verse 64. Say, O Muhammad, O people of the book, come to a common understanding between us and you, that we shall worship no one except one God, that we shall take no partners with him, and none of us shall take others for Lord besides one God. As you've just heard, God calls us to a common understanding and to learn from each other. And similar instances of this kind of request where God asks us to come together as one appear in Christianity, Judaism, and so many other faiths and religions across the world. I believe that Interfaith helps us not only to teach our religion to other people and to learn about other people's religions, it also brings us closer to God because we are acting on his words as good global citizens engaging in friendly dialogue with people around the world. In my personal experience with the Children of Abraham, I've been part of the Children of Abraham for almost 6 years now. I feel like I've made so many friends and I've made a huge positive impact on the world. And by learning about other traditions, my faith has become stronger. I've also learned that what connects us as people and as members of different faiths is more powerful than what divides us. One example of that is fasting. For those who don't know, it is currently the holy month of Ramadan for the Muslims when we fast. And one of our speakers will expand on that a little bit more. But tonight we have leaders of 4 faiths here to talk about how fasting is prescribed in their religions. First off, I'd like to invite Father Corey up. He is the co-founder of the Children of Abraham Coalition Group and the co-director of the Vider House of Hospitality, an interfaith residence for young men seeking asylum in the U.S. from violence in their home countries. Please welcome him.
Salam, shalom, peace. Such a beautiful scene. This is what the world looks like, but unfortunately, this isn't always what the world sounds like. People of different faiths, different ethnic backgrounds, coming together in peace and solidarity, reverencing each other, rather than trying to be divided or sow division. I'm so honored again to be here as a priest. I never thought I would have a home mosque, but IEC for almost 7 years now has been my mosque, and I'm so honored to be here and to share a little bit about fasting in the Christian tradition. Fasting for us and it has a couple significant moments. First, it goes back to our scripture too. It goes back to the scripture, we share with our Jewish brothers and sisters, but particularly the Gospels, where we learn that Jesus went out into the desert and fasted as a way to remove himself from all the distractions that were trying to pull him away from the mission God gave him. So he went out for 40 days feeling the hunger in his body. We believe when we feel the hunger in our body, we can focus on the source of all goodness, that for which we really hunger, and that is God. So for Christians, hunger can point us towards that food that is holy, and that is God. We also believe that as Christians, it's important to taste a little bit of the life of the poor and the forgotten. And you taste it by not tasting food. So many of us, most of us probably can go to the refrigerator, the cupboard, anytime, any day. But for us as Christians, during Lent, when we have days of fast during Lent, the 40 days before our celebration of Easter, we not only fast to refocus ourselves on God and what might be removing us or separating us from God, but also to feel just a little bit of the hunger that our brothers and sisters who suffer each day in hunger feel. So it's just remarkable to me that we all connect in so many spiritual disciplines. But I have to say, as a Christian, or at least I say as a Roman Catholic, we probably have the lightest fast of the other of our in this room, you know. So during Ramadan, I tend to feel a little guilty. But thank you very much, and I just want to. I believe at the end maybe we'll say something about the coalition, or just I think this is the third time we've done it. Can I say it now? I am so honored. Without the Islamic Education Center and Maulana S.Mehboob Mehdi and my sister Shaheen Khan, we would not have a coalition that for 6, almost 7 years has been standing up proudly and courageously against hate and bigotry and discrimination, and has been training young people to do so as well. So when we stand on this holy ground in this mosque, we're standing on ground that's even particularly more holy, because without the commitment of the leadership of this mosque, we would not have been able to touch the many, many lives and hearts that this coalition has touched. So I want to thank particularly this community, the Islamic Education Center, a community of God and for God and for all sisters and brothers. And I hope that you all can continue to connect with our coalition as we move forward, as we continue to partner now with our Sikh brothers and sisters. I'm so honored that our Muslim and Jewish and Christian coalition is building this partnership with our Sikh brothers and sisters in Palatine. So welcome tonight to those my brothers who are here. And as we move forward as an Abrahamic coalition that seeks to build partnerships with other faith communities for a more peaceful world, please stay in touch with us as we continue to sponsor programs, training events. We are the people God has sent into the world right now to deal with the darkness that we see in our television and on our radio stations, the darkness that seeks to sow division and fear. We are the people God has sent. So, God willing, inshallah, we will continue as a group of people, brothers and sisters of 4 traditions now, with our Sikh brothers and sisters, working for a world of salam, shalom, peace. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Father Corey. Next up, I'd like to invite Gulwant Singh Hundal. I hope I pronounced that correctly. He's our Sikh representative here today. He's formerly a lecturer in English in Punjab, India, the ex-president and religious secretary of the Sikh Religious Society here in Palatine. Please welcome him.
My dear brothers and sisters, first and foremost, I would like to appreciate and express my gratitude to the organizers. This is a very holy occasion, and we are speaking about the spiritual faiths and the value of fasting. The Sikh perspective on fasting is a little bit different, but when I try to look into why the other faiths have fasting, I learned a lot. In our faith, it is always an instruction that in your daily life, you follow the guidelines and take care of that instrument which can either be a source of bliss or can be a source of agony and sorrows, and that is common in all of us, that's the mind. So Nanak, the founder of the Sikh faith, emphasized, if you want to be in bliss, if you want to conquer your own world and maybe that of the others, conquer your mind first and foremost. So he gave the instructions about the food, about the clothes, about your leisure time. Don't eat anything that will bring pain to the body and lead the mind into negative propensities. Don't wear those clothes which pain your body and again arouse negative emotions in you. Don't sleep too much, don't eat too much, be moderate in everything. And Nanak laid so much emphasis on oneness. In fact, the scripture of the Sikh starts with the numeral 1, which is to emphasize that the source of all creation is one. That is the substratum, that is the matrix from where we all come. From one divine light, everything manifested. If that is the essence of all of us, who can we call good or who can be labeled wicked? Recognize that essence in each one of the human beings, and then the conflicts will vanish. So that is the fundamental core principle of the Sikh faith, that we are the children of the same Father. That source is the mother, that source is the brother, and recognize that fact, and also recognize all human beings are one and same. Out of that core value, we have in our tradition called langar, a community kitchen. And in any place of Sikh worship, 24/7, anybody who needs a food and a place of shelter can walk in. And the caretakers of that place are obligated to entertain without any distinction, caste, creed, faith, gender. So again and again, this is one core message being delivered, and I feel honored, humbled, privileged to be part of this celebration. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Next up, we have Rabbi Hart. Rabbi Hart was born and raised in the South Shore neighborhood of Chicago. He was ordained as a rabbi by the Hebrew Union College in Cincinnati, Ohio in 1986. He served as the assistant and associate rabbi of North Shore Congregation Israel in Glencoe, Illinois, is now celebrating his 25th year as the senior rabbi of Temple High in Long Grove. Throughout his 32 years in the rabbinate, Rabbi Hart has worked very closely with the interfaith matters and concerns. He has served as the clergy chair of the Northwest Suburban Interfaith Council and has participated on numerous interfaith panels as a representative of the Jewish community. Rabbi Hart is proud to be a director of the Children of Abraham Coalition, along with Father Corey and Shaheen Khan. Please welcome him.
I don't believe in coincidences. I don't believe that things just happen. So you need to know, like many of you on the drive over here from Feed My Starving Children, which was such a remarkable, remarkable gathering, that I looked out towards the eastern sky, and there was this remarkable rainbow. And I recognized that in so many ways it was God's intent that we should gather here, that we should gather with the rainbow in the sky, which is the symbol of peace and well-being that God brought to the world, that we should be gathering here on this night, this wonderful community, and the opportunity for me to share just a few brief words with you about the meaning of fasting within Jewish tradition. You also need to know, as I'm about to share these words, this is my third visit to a mosque. My first two visits were in Jerusalem, in Al-Aqsa, the Dome of the Rock. And here I am, and so honored and blessed to be with all of you. In Jewish tradition, when we think primarily about fasting, there is one day in the calendar, and I too am feeling a little bad that we have just this one day, where in the Muslim community we're talking about an entire month of fasting. But we generally think of one particular day, which is the holiest day in the Jewish calendar, that is called in Hebrew Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. And this is a day we are taught in our scripture in the Torah, that on the seventh day, on the seventh month, and on the 10th day of the month, the Torah teaches that you shall practice self-denial, and on that day you should make atonement before God. And so as we think of that one day in the calendar of self-denial, that our sages said that this really means that we should devote this day to fasting, and we should turn our hearts close to God. So although there are numerous other minor fasts in the Jewish calendar, the day that most within the Jewish community think of fasting is on that day of atonement of Yom Kippur. But it is interesting to take note that the prophetic tradition, particularly that of Isaiah, the prophet Isaiah, calls into question the whole meaning of fasting and the real intent of fasting. And I thought it was appropriate to share these brief words from the prophet Isaiah. They ask of me the right way, as though eager for the nearness of God. When we fast, you say, why do you pay no heed? Why, when we afflict others, do you take no notice? Because on your fast day you think only of your business, and you oppress all your workers. Because your fasting leads only to strife and discord, and hitting out with the cruel fist. Such a way of fasting on this day what will not help you to be heard on high. Is this the fast that I am truly looking for? A day of self-affliction? Bowing your head like a reed and covering yourself with sackcloth and ashes? Is this what you call a fast, a day acceptable to the Lord? Is not this the fast that I look for? To unlock the shackles of injustice, to undo the fetters of bondage, to let the oppressed go free, and to break every cruel chain. Is it not that you should share your bread with the hungry and bring the homeless poor into your house? When you see the naked, to clothe them, and never to hide yourself from your own kin. Then shall your light blaze forth like a dawn, and the wound shall quickly heal. Your righteous Son will walk before you. The presence of God will be your rear guard. And then when you call, that God will answer. And when you cry, God will say, here I am. And so as we take these brief moments to reflect on the meaning of fasting, the tradition tells us that as significant as these moments are, that our true calling is this: to be here, to be present, to share. And yes, how meaningful it is as we walked in the door that we should receive a symbol of love, a rose. Very, very honored and blessed to share this occasion with all of you. God's blessings.
Thank you, Rabbi. That was a beautiful verse. Our last speaker is Maulana Mehboob Mehdi Abedi al-Najafi. Maulana is originally from Najaf, Iraq, and he is a resident alim, or Islamic leader, of the Islamic Education Center. That's this place. He believes in the power of youth leadership, and he's been working with Interfaith his whole life, and an event like this is kind of a dream come true to him. Please welcome him.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Shalom and peace. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة على محمد وآله الطاهرين. I, first of all, would like to again welcome you all in this Islamic Education Center. And when we started a few years ago, this coalition with Father Corey, although he's Father Corey, but I can call him Brother Corey, right? I can. Thank you. No, he's Father Corey, okay? So it was a small group, but now you see, mashallah, this group is expanding, and someday we hope, and you write these words, inshallah, with the will of God, this will be a global movement, and we will work together for peace and justice on the globe. Peace for everyone, freedom for everybody, love for everyone. What you see, this should reach to every single human being on earth, from all of us. Why? Because religion is nothing but love. هل الدين إلا الحب. This is the hadith and saying of our Prophet. He says, is religion anything other than love? No. Love is religion. Religion is love. So if really you have the spirit of love for others in your heart, you are a religious person. If you don't have love, you are not religious. How about if somebody has hatred? How can he claim to be a religious person? Or take the name of religion and spread hate in the name of religion. He is not religious at all. Especially if a Muslim does something in the name of Islam, we don't consider him a Muslim at all. So you see, you heard from all our respected speakers from all three traditions. I know Father Corey and Mr. Kulwant Singh and Rabbi Hart, all of them told you that how they feel about fasting and what is the purpose of fasting in all religions. In Islam also. So we can feel the hunger and the suffering of others and be motivated to help them. When this is this is the theme and this is the purpose of fasting in all religions. And believe me, if you find other religions, every religion in the world is going to tell you the same thing. Then when all of us have one message and one motivation of love and justice and peace, everybody likes peace in this world. No religion teaches hatred and discrimination and injustice. Then why we see this injustice in this whole world? What is the shortcoming among us? Forgive me if I'm saying this so clearly to you, all of you. Where is the shortcoming? Why we are not able, all religions, to really establish peace on earth? While we have this very good, positive thinking, and we share this thinking, we share this ideology of love, I think there is one thing that we need to do it. And it is, of course, we appreciate good. Everybody is appreciating good. But we should also have the courage to discourage evil and to condemn evil. This is what not happening in this world. We don't condemn the evil, the terrorism, the extremism. In all religions, it's not about Islam. All religions have extremism. All religions have those extreme views which becomes obstacle in establishing peace and justice and love in this world. So we need to be very clear about it. Fasting in Islam. What Islam says about fasting. So there are two verses in Quran about fasting. One is talking about يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. We prescribed fasting for you exactly as we prescribed this fasting for people before you. So you heard the people before us. Christians are before us. Jews are before us. Quran says they are fasting before us, but we are fasting more than them. Right? So, 1 month, whole month. Why whole month? So Quran says the purpose. Why should we remain hungry? And strong hunger, real thirst. In some religions, they fast, but they can drink. In some religions, they can drink juice, not water. It's fine, I can drink juice. No. But in Islam, you cannot put anything in your mouth. Nothing. No liquid, no solid food. From dawn to dusk. How many hours nowadays? 18 hours. Maybe more, right? 18 hours. You will remain hungry and thirsty, and you have to stand up here and speak. Yes. So what is this? Why? So many reasons and so many benefits of this fasting. One of them is لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, what Quran says. So you can become pious. The ultimate goal of this is piety, niceness, kindness, goodness, refraining from evil, refraining from sins, from crimes, from bad. Look, to be good human being. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. This is the purpose of fasting. And the benefit will reach to whom? The other ayat says, the other verse says, شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس. Linnas. Nas means people of all religions. So the benefit of Ramadan should reach to every single human being on earth. What you were doing an hour ago, all together, it was amazing. When girls with hijab ladies with not hijab, right? Muslims, non-Muslims. All of them were standing together for one purpose, to feed the hungry. This spread. We should really strengthen this spirit. Politicians and the media, what should I say? I should say no comments. Because I'm not a politician, I'm not a media man. But listen, believe me, we have problems. But we, American peoples, are very nice people. Very nice. I'm talking about people, Muslim, non-Muslim, Christian, Jew, Sikh, Hindu, Buddhist, take any religion. Even the atheists, they are human beings. So we are all human beings. Benefit of Ramadan should reach to all human beings. Unfortunately, what is going on in the world, in Ramadan, in this month of Ramadan, countries claiming themselves to be Muslim countries, they are bombarding those poor people who are dying from hunger in Yemen. And other countries are supporting them. What we can do? Positively, of course, we should start to just keep working for the sake of peace and for the sake of justice on earth. And this is the purpose of fasting, and this is the purpose of us getting together here. It's so beautiful gathering, so spiritual gathering, so inspiring, and so motivating, so great, so amazing. May God bless all of you. May God bless every single person who took a step to help needy people today. And our getting together here will strengthen the ties and the relationship between human beings. We are Quran also, when Qaim recited the ayat, Quran calls Ya Bani Adam, O children of Adam. So all of our children of Adam, we should act like brothers and sisters globally. And of course, we can start from here. Other people are also working. We can have good relationship with them, and we can change the world if we really spread this love and this peace and this good and beautiful message all around. Thank you very much. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you to all of our speakers. At this time, I'd like to request our senior trustee, Naya Rizvi, and the presenters for tonight onto stage with a presentation of a love bouquet. And that concludes our program for the night. Almost. Everyone got nervous. No, there will be dinner tonight. So at this moment, we will be breaking our fast, but with prayers. You are welcome to either stay here and observe our prayers by lining up to the side of the walls, or if you would like to head straight to the tent where we have dinner arranged for our guests, the members of the Islamic Education Center community, we request you to stay here and dinner will be arranged for you here. Thank you very much. Thank you all.